Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the M46 Patton KR. This is a tier 8 American premium medium tank with regular matchmaking. The game I'm playing is an assault battle on Peepful Ridge and I'm on the defense, with tier 8 as the top tier and 2 artillery on each team. For this game my tank is equipped with a gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, and coated optics. This was actually my first game with the Patton KR, so I'm still getting used to the tank, but I wanted to give my first impression of it. Now it's time for my first shot with the tank, and this is a difficult shot because the Boilermaker is mostly hidden behind the hill, and look at that heat-seeking bullet! Wow, first shot, first kill. I was going about 25 kilometers there, and my reticle was pretty small. The Patton KR is good at shooting on the move, and with my first couple games with it so far, it's been pretty reliable during assault moves. Now moving into a pretty aggressive position here, considering I'm supposed to be on the defense. I'm doing this partly because I don't like defending closer to the base, partly because my light tank teammate didn't spot out any large forces coming up this way, and I was eager to get into the fight with my new tank. Now something you're going to notice during this engagement with these tanks is that the Patton KR's turret is quite weak. In my first couple games with the tank, I really haven't bounced any shots with it, and I've mostly just had success with using its mobility and gun depression to quickly peek over ridge lines without exposing too much of my tank, and just relying on quick snapshots to avoid getting hit. Overall, my strategy here to try to get damage by peeking over the rock has failed quite miserably, and I've already taken a few damage hits. So I've got to think of a new strategy here, and I'm noticing that everyone on this flank is a really soft armored tank. So there's not a tank that's going to be able to spearhead a push, and really I don't want to get held up in this position for a long period of time just by an Object 416 and hammer, when we have a much stronger force. But at the same time I don't want to give the enemy any easy damage hits, so I'm going to very carefully side scrape around this rock. Now this tank definitely does not specialize at side scraping, but I've found that it's very useful just to pull straight back and minimize your tank's profile, and most of the time I've had success with the enemy's shots just being absorbed into my tracks. Now here I do take a hit through my track, but it's well worth the trade because I'm able to get 3 shots on the Object 416 and catch him on fire to finish him off. And now the stalemate is broken, so we can just move forward and take out the remaining enemies that are over here. Even if your tank isn't meant for side scraping, it's always a good idea to have it as a backup plan, in case you end up in slow situations like I had here, or if you're just trying to hold down a position on your own. Sometimes the surprise of seeing a tank side scraping that isn't meant to can throw the enemy off their game and give you a slight advantage. Now, even though I'm supposed to be on the defense, there are 2 artillery in this game, and so I'm very eager to keep pushing around and try to take them out of the battle as well as their snipers. This Comet here makes another easy target, and I shoot just after the Scorpion and pick up the kill, but that's another great hit on the move with this Patton KR. Now I get to use this tank's good mobility to reposition. It's got an 18.45 horsepower to weight ratio and a top speed of 48 kilometers per hour. Those numbers are great for what you're going to be using this tank for. I've got an easy target to finish off here, but I take a foolish shot, so I'm going in for the ram. Oh yeah, crushed him. And that gives me my 4th kill of the game already. My team's flanking maneuver over here has been quite a success, and once we have these artillery out of the way, we'll be able to completely surround the remaining enemies. Sometimes moves like this don't pay off because you take too many tanks away from defending the base, but when I'm in a mobile tank like this, I'm comfortable making them. Now I've got some shots here on the side of the AT-7. The terrain in that area makes it a little difficult for me to get a clear shot. I probably could have left this AT-7 for my teammates to finish off, but I wanted to make sure that we moved together as a solid force, especially since I'm not on full hit points here, so I want my teammates to be able to keep making the push with me. And that's a lucky 45 damage shot that I managed to squeeze in right at the end to get the AT-7 kill. And this is another small 130 damage hit to get another kill. I'm getting all these easy finishing shots, but it's not going to allow me to tally up much of a damage total. My team has done a great job this game at holding the enemies off from the base, and with only 3 remaining, it's time for some easy cleanup shots. One thing you gotta remember when you're using the Patton KR is that you only have the 90mm cannon. That's common among so many tier 8 tanks. And so you've got to give yourself time to wear down the enemies, because you're not going to be able to take out a massive amount of the enemy's hit points like the heavy metal hero Super Sherman. It doesn't have that high alpha damage advantage to trade shots, so you've got to find ways to make use of your rate of fire while holding on to your hit points, so when you get the opportunities to make those assault moves, you're not just an easy target to finish off. And with this tank's ability to hit shots on the move so well, those fast-moving assaults are definitely going to be one of the highlights of using the tank. I managed to arrive just in time to get another tiny damage hit to finish off the last enemy. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game, I managed to earn 121,000 silver without any multipliers, but remembering that I didn't fire any premium shells or use any of my premium consumables. That 57% silver earning bonus really paid off this game. I earned 5,494 experience. That's with a 2 times daily multiplier and the 15% XP bonus that this tank has. In this game, I managed to deal 2,962 damage, assist with 396 damage, and destroy 8 enemies while blocking 730 damage. This earned me Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Top Gun for destroying 6 enemies, Devastator for destroying 7, and a Radley Walters for destroying 8. It's too bad a little more damage hadn't been tagged onto all the kills I got. There were just so many small finishing shots. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,744. I managed to hit 15 of my 20 shots and penetrate 14 of those. I'm satisfied with those numbers considering I was firing so many shots on the move. In terms of crew and module damage, I damaged the ammunition in the heavy metal hero FE305, damaged the engine in the AT7, damaged the ammo, engine, and fuel tank of the Object 416 that I set on fire, and injured the commander and the boilermaker. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing that fun first game with the Patton KR, and that my first impression of the tank will help you decide if this is a good addition to your garage. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.